What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here. In this one, we go over some kickoff updates for Michigan's next two games. Also got some big injury updates on left tackle Evan Link, as well as others like Justice Haynes, Rod Moore, Brandon Hillman, Rayshawn Benny, and others, as Sharon Moore gave an update today on all of them. Also spoke on Blake Frazier stepping up, and also spoke on the upcoming matchup on the road against Michigan State. Then offensive lineman Giovanni Elhadi also spoke on the rivalry this week, what the Michigan offense has to work on, plus some top targets, recap their visits over the weekend for Michigan's big win over Washington. We go over all that and more in this video, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so before we do go ahead and get into this video, I first do want to give a shout out to our channel members. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. You guys are all the best, and I appreciate the support from all you guys, and everybody who is subscribed, drops a like on the videos, and everyone who comments on the videos. I enjoy seeing all you guys' comments. But let's go ahead and get into this video following what was a huge win Saturday for the Wolverines, defeating Washington 24-7. And with that win, it put the Wolverines back into the top 25. They are now ranked 25th in the new latest AP poll, and now they will be taking on Michigan State on the road in East Lansing on NBC at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, as the Wolverines look to continue their momentum from that huge bounce back win over Washington. Michigan is currently favored by 2 touchdowns in this game against Michigan State. And then we did get some more news on another kickoff time against Purdue, as that home game on November 1st against Purdue will kick off at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. So another night game for the Wolverines, back-to-back weeks here. And there have been a lot of night games here this season for the Wolverines. And we got 2 more coming up. First one on the road against Michigan State, and then home against Purdue before the Wolverines get a bye week. So that's some schedule news right there for the Wolverines here. And we do got some news on left tackle Evan Link, as he went down with an injury against Washington. And according to Matt Zenitz of CBS Sports, he is expected to miss at least a few games due to a knee injury he suffered against Washington. But there is some early hope that he may be able to return before the end of the regular season, which is definitely very good news. Wasn't sounding too great following that Washington game, as Sharon Moore did say post-game that it doesn't look good, but he did confirm on Monday that while, we obviously won't start this weekend, he should return this year, and he said it wasn't as bad as we thought, and I think we'll have him back sooner than later, but we'll see, and we'll just, take it week by week. Blake Frazier will start, Brady Norton will also play some tackle as well. He played that before in his career, so we always had that plan, and we'll move guys around accordingly. So that is definitely great news on Evan Link right there, and there's going to be obviously shakeup on the offensive line, but Blake Frazier had an outstanding game. This is a redshirt freshman that came in and held his own. This was a guy came in very talented, a lot of high hopes for him. Unfortunately, has dealt with some injuries, but now he's got his chance now. And I tell you what, there is just so many young players on this Michigan football team. The future is very bright. Next season, 2027, those are going to be the years that this Michigan football team is going to be very good. Obviously, they're trying to make something happen this season as well, but it is a very young team, but they are continuing to develop, continuing to get better and better each week, minus that, obviously, road game against USC. Other than that game, though, this team has made progress. All right, so we got some NFL football, Monday Night Football between the Bucs and the Lions, and the sleeper app is where you need to be. I'm taking Baker Mayfield to have more than 1.5 passing touchdowns in this one, and then also Lions star wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown to have more than 6.5 receptions. And you can make tons of picks like this using the Sleeper app, and right now is a great time to get started because Sleeper is offering a free $20 entry, no deposit required, plus first time users still also receive a $100 match on your first deposit using promo code MST. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. So guys, go ahead, check out Sleeper today, link down down below in the description. It's also pretty funny today. Sharon Moore came out and said, about his blue collar jacket. He said, "We're back." I guess it worked, as obviously there were a lot of jokes, a lot of memes about Sharon Moore wearing the blue collar jacket last week, and he kept it real. He said they got to go back to work. He was right. They went back to work last week, and they got the job done against Washington, getting this team back on track. So you can joke about it all you want. He got the job done and, lived up to his word. But now he got to keep going, and along with some other injury updates here for the Wolverines on Justice Haynes. He said that, he'll practice this week. We'll see. I think he'll be good. Now, he was held out, obviously, in the game against Saturday. He was dressed, worked with the ones before the game on Saturday, before he was eventually held out. He then, after halftime, came out in street clothes. So hopefully the Wolverines will get him back, but they still have Jordan Marshall, and against Michigan State, I think they should be fine, even if Justice Haynes can't go. But how awesome it would be to see Justice Haynes out there and have some explosive run plays over Michigan State, and just for him to get into this rivalry game and play in it. As far as Rod Moore and Brandon Hillman, he said, "We'll see. I think Brandon will practice this week. We'll take it day by day, see where he's at." And again, same thing with Rod. However, Michigan's defense played great even without Rod Moore and Brandon Hillman. And this defense played great mainly because of, the defensive line up front stopping the run, but also, Wink Martindale didn't blitz as much in this one, played a more base defense, and I think, that's what this defense needs to do moving forward more, and that's mainly where they succeed. It's where they've succeeded these past few years here, and that's how they've succeeded, against teams like Ohio State and Alabama. And obviously I do think, they'll continue to do that against those teams, but the blitz rate was pretty high here in some of these games this season already, but it definitely went down against Washington. So, maybe some of that was because of Washington's quarterback containing him. We'll see though as we go. And as far as Ernest Hausman, Rayshawn Benny, he said that, he's doing okay. We'll look to see if he can practice this week, see where that goes, but we'll know in the middle of the week where he is. Speaking of Rayshawn Benny, and then Ernest Hausman, he said, "I think he'll be okay too. He'll be fine," as he did go down, but again, was able to walk off on his own power. And he does expect Hogan Hansen to practice this week as well. But I tell you what, that Michigan tight end room is stacked. I don't think we got to worry about who's playing in that room, because whoever it is, they can go and get the job done. They are very, very deep in that room. And as far as the Michigan State game coming up, Sharon Moore said, he respects Michigan State, and to throw out the record book for this game. They know they're going to get Michigan State's best. It's like that every season. Sharon Moore has done a great job in these rivalry games here so far at Michigan, and hopefully he continues it here, because let's be honest, all Michigan State is playing for in this game is to ruin Michigan's season and knock them out of the playoff hunt. So, this team knows that, these players know that, and they all know they're going to get their best. So they gotta, show up. Also doesn't help that it's on the road. So, they got more talent than them. They know that, but they still got to go out there and execute. And offensive lineman Giovanni Ohadi did speak to the media as well on facing Michigan State this week. He said, being sharp and being ready. There will be chirpiness in this one. He also did add that, they need to execute better on fourth downs. That's one thing this offense has to do better. They did have a great performance against Washington. They just could not finish drives, and that's what they got to work on, especially the short yardage situations. They went 0 for 2 on fourth downs, and they got to do, a better job executing in those situations. He also did say that, they had an urgency after the USC game, didn't panic though, and showed their poise against Washington. And also did say that Blake Frazier did a great job stepping up, and he knows that he is more than capable of filling up that spot. Then along with the big bounce back win against Washington, Michigan also hosted multiple recruits over the weekend for the big bounce back win. According to Ethan McDowell, Avant 3 and the Wolverine, Quentin Burrell, one of the top elite wide receivers in the 2027 class that Michigan is going after, said that, it was good to be back on campus around the coaches and staff again, being on the field and taking in the pregame was a whole different experience. And glad to see Michigan get the win. It was a great team effort. And the 5-star wide receiver Monjune Sales also was on campus. He said it was really good. Got to meet with the staff directly, see how much of a priority I am for them in the class. And he's a big one. He's got a connection with Donovan McCulley. And then elite class of 2028 quarterback Donald Tabron, 5-star, also was on campus. He said the visit was really cool, as it was big time to get him on campus. He is basically similar to another Bryce Underwood type of recruit for the Wolverines to the 2028 class. He also has trained with Bryce Underwood in the past, so there's connections there. And we're obviously other recruits on campus for visits. Those are some of the highlighted ones though. But with that, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more. If you are new around here, I greatly appreciate it. And other than that, we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.